Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of the Daily Stand-Up. I'm Lee Henson, President of AgileDad, and today we'd like to discuss the importance of focusing on outcome over output. So without further ado, let's get started. Here at AgileDad, one of the things we pride ourselves on is when we go out and coach, we have an innate ability to help organizations better understand where they need to focus the most of their attention, the most of their effort, the most of their finances, their people. And I think that oftentimes we discover that organizations struggle because they try to put too much food on the table. Let me explain. Many times organizations are trying to search for the next big thing. So what they'll do is launch many projects simultaneously. They'll have a ton of projects all in flight at the same time, reduce team size very low, stretch out the duration of those projects to last for years instead of weeks or months, only to find that when they deliver the project at the end of that cycle or the product at the end of that cycle, that the product that they've delivered is not only outdated, but it's just something that people don't care about. It's something that no one even wanted anyway to begin with. And I think the key here is that the organizations are really focused on how much work they can crank out instead of the quality of the work that they're cranking out. It's important for us to note that organizations aren't usually equipped with the ability to stop working in production or stop producing things or limit the scope of what they're producing all the way down to one unless they have the perfect idea to run with. So what most business leaders or what most managers are taught is to take as many different opportunities or as many different options as you can and run with all of them at the same time. It's like the old saying, let's throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. This type of strategy, I call it spaghetti strategy, it's weak. It doesn't work really well. What we find is when organizations are constantly focusing their attention on the number of widgets they can create or increasing their velocity, the number of story points they can complete, or trying to just get everyone to work more efficiently and make sure that they're filling in 8 full hours a day of work at whatever they're trying to do. These are the organizations that we find really are struggling and suffering the most. We find that the leadership isn't connected to the people who are doing the work, and more importantly, the people who are doing the work aren't connected to the people who are consuming the product or service that they're building. The keys to overcoming this are quite simple. First and foremost, we need the organization to be able to admit that there's a problem and focus on limiting work in progress. If we can limit the number of projects that are in flight and have teams swarm to get those projects to market faster, those products or services, this is going to provide an opportunity for us to accelerate the pace at which we can get things delivered, increase our revenue share, and have happier customers because the things we're providing are new and current and things that they actually can use. I find that when organizations shift their focus and stop worrying about trying to get so many things launched all together and focus their attention on getting a few key projects delivered much quicker, that it's amazing to see the morale of the team improve. It's amazing to see the engagement with the customer increase. It's amazing to see the revenue generated from going to market faster. There's just so many things that are beneficial about limiting work in progress and helping the organization see that this is a win-win situation. Reducing team size and stretching things out and focusing on the output is never going to be better than focusing on the outcome by limiting work in progress and getting products or services with higher quality to market faster. I think the second key is to make sure that the organization is funding in such a way that this makes this possible. Many organizations like to only approve funding when they get the highest level of detail regarding whatever product or service they're trying to build. This, once again, is sure to be a disaster. The organizations that are doing this most successfully are the ones who allocate a limited amount of funding for ideation to make sure we came up with the best idea, to provide sessions for brainstorming, and to help people really engage and see that the ideas that they have do have merit, or to vet out those ideas to ensure that they have merit. Instead of just saying, hey, that idea is not going to work, it gives people an opportunity to try out new things at a very low cost. It's a low hurdle. Dollar-wise, and it's something that many organizations just forget to do. The second thing they need to do is focus on building out an MVP, a prototype, a quick and dirty, if you will. And I want to see people build that beta version, because what we found is the organizations that can focus their attention on building that proof of concept are the ones that end up with the greatest success when it comes time for us to release into the workplace, or externally for that matter. It's important for us to understand that it doesn't, once again, mean halt everything to a trickle. It means that we're going to allow teams to become T-shaped instead of just deep in one knowledge area. It's going to allow teams to focus on becoming more T-shaped, where they have a deep knowledge in one area, but a broad understanding of the work that needs to be done, or a broader understanding of the product or service that's to be delivered, so that they can really focus and move ahead. And I think the third big key about outcome over output is to remember that you're not trying to crank out as many widgets as possible. I know it sounds so simple, but once again, this is something that organizations really struggle with. I would rather you make the consumer as happy as possible and really focus on that end consumer awareness and the end consumer happiness by creating as little output as possible. Less is more. I want people to really embrace and find the balance between, doing the right thing, building it the right way and making it something that's powerful, building the thing right, making sure it's high quality, and building it fast, and getting it out to market, and appreciating that revenue and recognizing that the consumers are happier, and that the team's happier, and that overall the organizations can thrive because we've learned to shift our focus from just the common, hey, what have you delivered, or how many units have you delivered, or how many story points did your team complete, to how happy is our consumer, and what is the social media sentiment? How do people feel about our current product or service? What are we doing to make a difference or impact in the world? Is the product or service that we're providing doing something that's going to revolutionize an industry? Is it going to revive something that was once not there? Is it going to solve a problem or help somebody do something better? I think that when we start approaching how we fund projects differently, and when we start approaching the use of limiting WIP, and not just at the individual and team level, but at the project and flight level, that's when we're going to discover that organizational health will be much better, that people will have a greater appreciation for the product or service that you build, and you'll have increased revenue. Well, that's all for today. I hope this was helpful for you. As always, I invite you to visit AgileDad.com, where you can learn more about the products and services that we offer so that we can assist your organization to achieve greater business agility. Until next time, take care.